For the 72nd running, all eyes are on Macau for this year's Grand Prix. It is not only the next chapter in a quite amazing story from how this began as a road sports race for local drivers to a fully fledged international single-seater race, but it is also the FIA FR World Cup. The FIA, the governing body of World Motorsport, FR standing for Formula Regional, which is this Formula 3 style chassis introduced for the Grand Prix last year, and it takes the event back to its most recent iteration, where you have drivers from across the world coming to compete in one shootout, a category, Formula Regional, that operates both down under, in Europe, in Japan, elsewhere. And you take the best drivers, you put them on a circuit at which they don't race all year because it is only open as a race circuit for 4 days every season, and you find out who the stars are. David Addison and Alan Hyde are in the commentary box. They're looking forward hugely to what promises to be our 15-lap, 72nd Macau Grand Prix, the grid for which will be formed very shortly. The cars are on their way, as you can see, into position, and they will line up in the order in which the results dictated from yesterday's qualifying race. That was won by Freddie Slater, who has won the European Championship this year for these Formula Regional chassis. And Alan, he's got to start as one of the favourites.
It's been quite super to watch, hasn't it? Experience counts for a huge amount here around the streets of Macau on the gear circuit, over 6 kilometres. And Freddie Slater has been here before, albeit he hasn't had the taste of success that he had yesterday, winning the qualification race. But all of that experience goes together to set him up really rather nicely, including the pole position that he'll take up for this afternoon's Grand Prix. Freddie Slater has many eyes from the motorsport world upon him this afternoon.
The drivers, once they have done their formation lap, sorry, their sighting lap, I should really say, round to the grid, get out of the car. Nothing unusual about that. Drivers out of cars with a long build-up you perhaps get used to seeing, but where the Macau Grand Prix differs is that all the drivers then make their way to the front of the grid, and in a short period of time they will be introduced to the dignitaries for the event. The chief executive of the Macau SAR, Sam Ho Fai, along with the president of the Macau Grand Prix Organising Committee, Ms. O Lam, and the acting president of the Sports Bureau, and the coordinator of the Macau Grand Prix Organising Committee, in fact, Ms. Si Lei. They will all make their way onto the grid, and then the chief executive will head to the grandstand opposite the start line and watch the race from there. There you can see drivers all ready for the introduction to the dignitaries, and many of them thinking, gosh, this is unusual, we've not done this before. Freddie Slater has, because he was in the Grand Prix last year but crashed out on the last lap, made a move, and he said, I had to have a go. It's Macau, nothing to lose. Not like you have to think about championship points or anything, you just go for it. But once everybody is in place, it's been a rather curious track in the last half an hour, 45 minutes, because it's been filling up gradually of all sorts of things. Not only mechanics, not only cars, not only grid personnel, but also the mascots of the many casinos, such as Melco or SJM, for example, and each of them seems to have a different animal as its mascot. So we've had pandas and cockerels and chickens and Lord knows what. Now we have drivers, we have cars, we have grid personnel, we have media aplenty, we have VIPs, and away from the drivers, further down the pit straight towards turn 1, we have prepared, ready, the dancers who will conduct the lion dance, which precedes the eye dotting ceremony, which is all part of the responsibility of the chief executive, Sam Ho Fai, who will effectively bless the race and wish everybody involved good luck. There are the drivers then, and if I say racing drivers get younger all the time, perhaps when you look at single-seater racing it's never more true, because you're looking at people now in their late teens, but only just.
You're right, and for many of these drivers, as you mentioned, this is the first time they've experienced to build up to a race that they're going to be competing in, the like of which doesn't happen anywhere else. Can you imagine anywhere else where you would have this athletic and rather beautiful and colourful presentation of the historic lion dance, which we get at 3:15 local time. It's 3:05 local time, so the drivers will be introduced to the dignitaries in just a few minutes' time. We need to get them all organised in the right order and all lined up there at the front of the grid. And when you look back from the drivers, the lineup of drivers back to the grid, you can't see any tarmac.
No.
It is absolutely packed down there, and all of this is part of, as you say, a unique build-up to a race that these young drivers have never seen before, including these huge and rather difficult to get through the gate onto the grid. These huge mascots, as you say, I think we watched a chicken having to be squeezed through a gate onto the grid, which was rather amusing. There are pandas that are really a little bit smaller in body, but huge heads they've got on them as well. But it's all part of this event. It's unique to this event, and we absolutely love it.
All the local casinos, and when I say local, I mean we're not talking small enterprises here. They are multi-million-dollar businesses. They all embraced the event, and the casinos themselves are multiple rooms. They're shopping malls within. It is just like you transplant Las Vegas to Macau, and it all lights up at night. It is a quite amazing place. People that have never been think they have an idea of what it might be like, and then their eyes are suddenly opened. The German friend of ours was talking to us the other morning in his first visit, and when we asked him what he thought about it, he said, "It's just bonkers," which seemed to sum it up quite effectively. And it is. I mean, it does. We said over the weekend, Alan, this place have almost a split personality. In the day, you've got big, tall buildings, modern architecture. Go out to the mountain section of the circuit, for example, there are trees, there's old buildings, old architecture. And at night, you could be in a different part of the world. It's not just that the lights come on the buildings, but it takes on a completely different personality. Drivers and darkness falls before you know it. We were walking around town last night. We walked past a rather large pond, is that the best way to say it, which is outside the back of the Wynn Hotel, and all of a sudden, no warning, music started coming out of the lampposts, which all hide speakers and big subwoofer speakers as well. So the quality of the music was lovely, and a fully illuminated water display just happened for 5 minutes, and then everything went quiet again. No warning, just happened. Just that. But around the first, 3 corners of the circuit, there are at least a dozen big casinos and hotels. And then you go to one of the other islands, and there's probably the same again, if not more. And it is a very busy place, Macau. People coming across from Hong Kong and from mainland China. And it is always busy. And so too is the grid, as gradually it starts now to release more and more people down towards the front. Engineers, though, staying with the cars. The Formula Regional concept is that everybody here has the same sort of car. It's a Tatius-built chassis, Tatius F318. It's got an Auto Technica tuned Alfa Romeo 1800cc turbocharged engine. But they're all run by different teams, and that enables the engineers that have been to Macau for many a season to really make a difference and to help their driver. It's going to be from the very experienced and successful Prema Racing team, the pole position car, SJM Theodore Prema Racing, to give it its full title. The SJM Entertainment concern. Theodore is a good Macau, Hong Kong motor racing connection. Theodore Yip, Teddy Yip, went to Formula One as a constructor and has always been, the Yip family has always been involved in the Macau Grand Prix, very proud of its origins and its roots within Macau and Hong Kong. And that continues, possibly with yet more success, courtesy of Freddie Slater today. Another of the Prema Racing Theodore cars, Rashid Al-Dakheri, who starts a little bit further back on the grid.
As we build up to the line dance, can we just mention that this is a very athletic presentation that we have for the line dance. The athletes, if you've not seen it before, enjoy every single moment of the colour and the athleticism that you're about to see, because these athletes, these dancers, call them what you will, have been out there trying to find a bit of shade for the last hour or so. We've watched them in the paddock, and they have been almost fully in costume, all bar the final finishing touches on the costumes, in what is a very, very hot day in the sunshine, getting ready for this. They are absolutely supreme athletes, and it's all part of the build-up to the Macau Grand Prix every time we run this race, and it's a spectacular introduction to the race that some of these drivers will have never witnessed before. You can only be one part of the world, and it is just before the Macau Grand Prix. Absolutely love this build-up.
Yeah. Some of the drivers looking very formal, overalls all done up, others with their overalls by their waist to get a little bit of cool, and they're members of the Grand Prix organising committee, lined up awaiting the chief executive and the other key officials to make their way onto the circuit. Looking down across the track, we can see all the scrutineer team lined up in formation, and we can sort of see the route that's going to be taken past the officials and into the pit lane and then onto the track to meet the drivers, and then across the other side into the grandstand. The race will have a green flag in 20 minutes time, so the drivers here trying to get in the zone. They can't do anything other than wait and go through this process, but as soon as they turn on their heels and get back to the cars, it's race faces on. Yesterday's race, which was the qualifying race, ran without incident. Drivers making sure they kept out of trouble. We've had an awful lot of incident over practice and qualifying, but actually that race yesterday was much calmer, which was good to see.
It most certainly was, and calm is anything but, I think, for the drivers that are lined up at the front of the field at the moment. They want to be doing what they do, which is to be getting in the car, getting ready, and actually on their own, on circuit, on the gear circuit, in their racing cars. But they can't do that for a little while. They have this introduction, and you know what, for them now, they're thinking, can we just get on with it? Can we do it now?
Yep.
But they will look back on this and think, what a magical moment. What a magical build-up to a race, the like of which they'll never have had before.
Yes, if they are fortunate enough to get into Formula One, then there's obviously a long grid process. But even in that, you don't have the head of the government to come and greet you on the grid, more often than not. So one or two umbrellas are up to shield drivers from the heat. The FIA flags are flying, as you can see. The different resorts with their banners, the mechanics around the cars, the engineers around the cars. Still, people are pouring forward down the grid. And I think very shortly, you can see Macau Grand Prix branded people running around. We are imminent to get things underway. The line dancers now prepared their costumes. You look at the grid, you can see at the very front, look, the lions start to adorn their costumes, and the lion dance is going to happen very shortly. And you can see coming down the pit lane, Alan, our government dignitaries and Macau Grand Prix organising committee senior members have now arrived.
Yes, they do. Through the gate onto the grid, the very, very colourful lion dance is prepared as well. And then the welcome for the chief executive. So Sam Ho-Fai, who this afternoon officiates the Formula Regional Macau Grand Prix, the 72nd Macau Grand Prix. And we will have the presentation to all of the Macau Grand Prix organising committee members, the drivers as well, and will officiate in just a few moments' time over the good luck lion eye dotting ceremony before the race. Just being introduced to all of the Macau Grand Prix organising committee members, and a huge amount of work goes into the preparation of this Macau Grand Prix, even more this year, because we've mentioned that also this week happening is that Macau are very proudly involved in the national games taking place in the Greater Bay Area here, Macau and various other regions as well. And so all of the Grand Prix organising committee are welcomed by the chief executive, and then all the drivers as well, shaking hands with the whole of the field for the 72nd Macau Grand Prix.
Spot one or two of the colours on the overalls being familiar, either McLaren, Red Bull or Theodore Racing, as Sam Ho-Fai makes his way down the line of the full complement. 27 drivers from all over the world as well. Representatives from Italy, from Japan, from France, from Spain, from Austria, from Great Britain, from Argentina, from America, from Vietnam, Chinese Taipei, Mexico, France, Japan, Denmark, Thailand, Poland, and, pleasingly, Macau, because Charles Leung, who's been a double winner of the event, is on the grid as well. So the organising committee members met and greeted, the drivers met. Now the eye dotting takes place. It is a feature of the Macau Grand Prix, and now that Sam Ho-Fai has conducted the majority of his duties to bless the event, the eye-dotting ceremony that allows the lion dance to be next.
It's just superb, isn't it?
Only at Macau.
You couldn't be anywhere else in the world. It brings a huge smile to not just our faces in the commentary box. We also got our phones out to once again take a picture of this, but it is incredible. Absolutely incredible and colourful, and everything about this part of the world and the build-up to the 72nd Macau Grand Prix. The chief executive makes his way, Mr. Sam Ho-Fai, and the officials make their way off the grid, because in just a moment we'll begin to get ourselves ready for the drivers getting themselves into the cars, and hopefully we'll get word from a few of them down on the grid. But and the whole thing is just so well orchestrated.
Yeah.
We were told the lion dance will start at 3:15. It started on the 2nd at 3:15, where everybody was in the right place. They'd worked out how long would it take to be introduced to all of the committee members, and then to all of the drivers, take up the place, dot the I's on the line, and then have the lion dance as well. I just think this is superb, even down to the little tension barriers that keep the press away from the area of action for the lion dance as well. It's just supremely organised.
It is indeed, and now that the grid is being cleared of personnel and of dignitaries and of the lion dance troupe as well, drivers have left the grid. They've gone for their final part of pre-race ritual to make themselves a fraction lighter. They'll get back into the cars very shortly, and we are just 11 minutes and change away from the green flag, so the cars will be released for one formation lap to get warmth into the Pirelli tyres, and then it'll be a standing start ready for the 72nd Grand Prix de Macau for the FR World Cup. Still a very, very busy grid, and there's quite a bit to get removed from the circuit before we can go racing. Let's have a look at how they line up. It is going to be Freddie Slater on pole position from Murray, Boya and Teo Nail. Then Evan Gilter starting fourth. Taito Kato is fifth, ahead of Enzo Deligny and Mattia Colnaghi. Top 10 rounded out by James Egozzi, Noah Stromsted and Rashid Al-Daheri. Mattia De Palo starts 11th from Jose Garfias, Dasana Polinthra Puvasak and Jin Nakamura. Kanato Lee 15th and Hio Yamakoshi 16th on the grid. 17th is where you will find Tokiya Suzuki, then Yuki Sano and Charlie Wirtz ahead of Owen Tangavelu. Kiyoshi Umagaki next from Rita Seaworthen and Charles Lung. Timothy Kwarchuk, the Polish driver, 24th. 25th is Enzo Ye ahead of Newman Chi and Oscar Wirtz. Right, Alex Le Gui is down on the grid. Let's see who she might be able to find in that scrub of people.
The atmosphere atmosphere and energy down here is absolutely incredible. Freddie, what a place to start on pole position. You have done an exceptional job this weekend. Are you ready to get the job done for the team?
Yeah, for sure, that's the goal. These guys haven't won here for quite a while now, so it's my job now to go out there and deliver. Same approach as yesterday, get a good start, control it to T3, and then hopefully check out. That's the goal. So we'll give it our all, and yeah, feels good.
To what extent do you think Murray's going to be a challenge?
They're always going to be a challenge, but I'm ready for it.
Good. Fighting talk.
Nothing like confidence. Ready Slater then, the man on pole position, gets set, and Murray, that was referred to as the opposition, is Murray Boya, who went really well yesterday, raced well, drove hard, took him a while to get through the traffic, but that, in a sense, was what he had to do. Now, he's got to convert the second rank on the grid into the race lead. The run down to Lisboa is going to be fascinating. You don't necessarily want to be ahead into that corner because you're giving a tow to the drivers behind. If you can come out of Lisboa ahead, that's fine. But lead off the line, all you're doing is giving that slipstream effect to your rival behind. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on that run down to turn 3 for the first time. Back to the grid, and Alex is down there.
Murray, you've been one of the most aggressive overtakers this weekend. Are you ready to challenge Freddie into T1?
For sure. It's the goal to take him the lead as soon as possible. We work really hard during all week, and the team and I believe that we can do this, so let's enjoy this final race and let's go for the win.
You look very cool, calm and composed. That is a strong mindset you've got going on there, haven't you?
It's the one I have to win here.
Oh, I love it.
Right, so that's Murray Boya, who will line up on the inside of the front of the grid. It's a one-by-one stagger. Pole position is on the outside, but a length ahead. That's the track licensing here for a rolling start. The pole position is on the inside where the cars are side by side, and Murray Boya coming back to Macau. It's a bit like Freddie Slater, actually, not a place that's been all that kind to him. He was 7th last year, 4th though in 2023, so he does know the circuit.
Recently announced as an Aston Martin development driver as well, so to be part of one of these development driver campaigns for the various Formula One teams is a huge thing to be proud of, and I wonder if that's given a little extra confidence heading into this weekend, because all of these young drivers know that there is more than a passing interest by the Formula One teams and important people in motorsport across the world on this event, because it is such a well-known event, such a historic event as well. Let's get back down to the grid where we can join Alex Degree.
Theo, we've had some incredibly fighting talk from both Freddie and Murray, and I wonder what your mindset is as you sit here in P3 at Macau Grand Prix.
Well, to be honest, yesterday was a race to learn what can happen into T3. So now the plan is just try to send it into T3, and then we see from there.
Great recovery pace yesterday. Fingers crossed you can do it again today.
Tia Nail coming back into Formula Regional machinery, having driven in FIA Formula 3 as well this year with the Van Amersfoort team, which is actually represented on this grid, but the cars then with drivers that are regulars in Formula Regional, some stepping back to them and some stepping up for the first time indeed.
Slowly we start to clear the grid now. We've got 6 minutes until we have the green flag before we get the formation lap underway for a 15-lap race around the streets of Macau on the 6-kilometre gear circuit. Now, we say we start to clear the grid. It is an incredibly busy grid, as we have said, so it will take more than a few moments to get all of the teams and the sponsors all clear of the grid. Now, the final preparations for the drivers, getting them strapped in. One member of the team taking care of that. And then the drivers can begin with their own thoughts, because it's been all a little bit frantic since they got to the grid. They brought the cars round. They were straight out of the cars to the front of the grid, and now they can begin to get on with what they do. That's to race around the streets of Macau.
You've seen Freddie Slater and Murray Boya. That climbing up third on the grid is Teo Nail, who was the Spanish F4 champion 2 years ago and started the year in Formula Regional, moved to Formula 3. Next up, number 22, Evan Gilter, who has been racing in Europe. He only had one race win, but he was the Middle East champion in these cars at the start of this season. He also raced here last year. He was 9th at the qualifying race, but crashed out of the Grand Prix itself. There you can see 23, his ART Grand Prix teammate, Taito Kato. He won the French F4 championship the year after Evan Gilter did, and he races under a French license, but is a Japanese driver. His Macau debut. Number 5 is Enzo Delini, comes from the R-Race GP team. That was the team that won last year with Uga Ugachuku, and Enzo Delini 4 wins to be 3rd in the European Championship, and he's had decent pace all weekend, Alan.
Certainly has, and we're just watching Mathieu Kolagi being strapped into the car as well. Make sure those straps are nice and tight. You need to be tightly strapped in around the bumps and the twists and the turns of this circuit. That's an important job that the teams are doing, making sure that their drivers are happy.
Another Macau rookie there, James Igotzi, and behind the American on the grid, number 25 is Noah Stromstead. Also a Macau debutant. He's been racing in Formula 3 this year in the FIA Championship, Mercedes junior team member. And Noah Stromstead, the driver from Denmark, will be another one to watch. That's the second of those Theodore Premer entries of Rashid Al Bahari, the Argentine Emirati driver, and he was 3rd in the Macau Formula 4 race 2 years ago. This is the recently signed to McLaren, Matteo De Palo, who has been the runner-up to Freddie Slater in Europe this year. 4 wins he has had, and a man to watch. That's the back of the grid that stretches all the way to our bend, as we look next at number 21, another of the drivers new to the circuit this year, Jose Garfias, who's driven in the North American and Mexican F4 Championship, bit of GB3, and there is a man that won in Formula 3 at Silverstone this year, and also at Monza and the Hungaroring, the Thai driver to Sanapol in Prapivasak in his Trident Motorsport entry. Jin Nakamura with his funky crash helmet livery.
It looks really good, doesn't it? It's unique for this weekend as well.
Okay. Smiley carrots, you were saying the other day.
Smiley carrots, teddy bears, and all other things besides. Yeah.
Right. It takes a certain mind to livery it like that. And a certain type of mind to care, actually, as well, Alan. But Jin Nakamura has been 10th in the European Formula Regional Championship this year. It's getting busy in the grandstands because it is the main race of the weekend, and sadly it's the last race of the weekend as well.
There is no seat unoccupied around the circuit here at Macau. It is super to see, and I tell you what, the drivers might find it a rather calming moment now, because they are just surrounded by the single members of the teams that are making sure they're securely fastened inside the car, and now they can get on with the job that they are here to do. They can race. Freddie Slater's car there on pole position, Murray Boya on the outside of the front row, Theo Nile on the next row of the grid alongside Evan Gilter. All of these drivers have such superb records all the way around the world, doing whatever they do, whatever series they are racing in. They all come together because this afternoon all that matters is the 6 kilometres of Macau, and who is going to take away the prestigious title of winning the Macau Grand Prix and also write their names into the history books at Macau.
Anybody that has watched this race, whether as a spectator or a driver, knows the importance of surviving. They all know that that first pinch point of Lisboa can ruin your weekend. It can make your weekend if you get the right gap. And so as the 1 minute board is shown, the last engineers fire up the engines. They will make their way off the grid. It is now all down to the drivers. And Freddie Slater, the British driver who comes here with a high reputation, he's part of the BRDC Superstars programme to look after young British talent, and he's illustrated why by dint of winning the European Championship this season. He's won also in GB3, the UK-based single-seater championship for a similar type of single-seater, and having raced here 2 years ago in F4 and last year in Formula Regional, he does have circuit knowledge, no question about that. But so too does Murray Boya. You've got two very experienced, very quick drivers at the front of the grid. And Murray Boya, as he was saying on the grid just a few moments ago, is here to win, and he's here to get on with the job and see what he can do about out-dragging Freddie Slater. It's going to be fascinating, that run to turn 3.
The important work is about to start as we count down to the start of the formation lap, the green flag lap, and now they have to think about, well, 100% concentration. These tyres have sat there motionless on the grid for quite a while now, so they need to begin to work a bit of heat into the tyres. Just reminded as well, once we stand up and look at the cars making their way off the grid, just how close to the action the crowds are around all the grandstands. They can really get a close view. If you think about modern Grand Prix circuits, okay, you're going to be at the event and you can see the cars. You have to zoom in on your phone to get a decent picture. You don't have to here. If anything, some of you need to zoom out a little bit because you are right on top of the cars. What a great event this is.
It is, and long may it continue. We've got one car, though, that's stranded on the grid. One has not got away, and I've got a horrible feeling it might be Reza Seaworthen. So the marshals are quickly onto the circuit to try to push that car. There it is, off the grid. And once that is in the pit lane, it is, in fact, the car ahead of Seaworthen on the grid, that of Owen Tangavelu. So they'll push that into the pit lane, and hopefully he'll be allowed to start from there. Owen Tangavelu, the Vietnamese driver, not getting away on that green flag lap. So he will give up his grid position, and the car has to be off the circuit. It therefore needs to be out of the way, and looking down the pit lane, there is a gap in the barrier they are approaching to get the car off the track, so the start need not be delayed.
And enough marshals to help as well. Goodness me, well over half a dozen of them all swarm over the car to get it off the circuit in time to get to not hinder the start of the race. Have to do a little three-point turn to get it into that gap in the pit wall. And they do so it's now almost off the circuit. Maybe another little pull back and a push forward as well from the marshals, doing a good job to get this car off. Talk about panic for those marshals. They need another little wiggle backwards and forwards as well to get it into the wall, into pit lane. And now it's out of the way and they can close that gate into pit lane. That's a bit of a moment, isn't it?
All beautifully done then as the cars come to the Macau hairpin, this first gear corner, and the green light flashing to say you're on the formation lap, but also to say you can now overtake, because that corner is the one aspect of the circuit where overtaking is not permitted. If you were to get two cars into the corner side by side, it would work, but not round it and out the other side. It is so narrow and tight, and if you cross the yellow line on the inside as well, that gets a finger wag from race control, because it is very much that you have to hold station through that section of the circuit. But then as you go through Black Sands and you go down towards Fisherman's, and then this corner coming up of R Bend, it is much more open, much faster, and this is where moves start to be planned.
And this is where the final weaving takes place to make sure that those tyres are absolutely up to temperature. I think I saw on the graphic just ahead of this race that the track temperature 47 degrees. It's been a really warm day, clear skies and not too much humidity either. It's a very hot day. It's going to be hard work. The tyres are going to be working hard as well. But look how they weave the cars from side to side. You're just a millimetre away from losing the car, just weaving the car.
Freddie Slater then lines up into position, puts himself in his grid marker, slightly an angle off, I would say. So there, David Kennedy, nearest to us, pointing at the screens, another very experienced racer and another big part of the Theodore family. And now Freddie Slater, there's got to be a plan, I think, for why he's parked it like that, unless he's hoping that as he floors the throttle, the car will squirm back into position. But it's a slightly messy line that he has adopted, and Murray Boya looks across and he thinks, right, come on, where am I going to get him? Is it off the line? Is it down towards Lisboa? What's going to happen off the start? The start is crucial. The run to Lisboa, turn 3 on the first lap is crucial. That could make or break this 72nd Macau Grand Prix.
The last few cars come into line. We wait for the green flag to be shown at the back of the grid. We see it, and then eyes to the gantry with the lights. 4, 5. And the Grand Prix is underway. The 72nd Macau Grand Prix is underway. Freddie Slater gets a good start, already squeezing Mary Boya, who gets a good start as well. But it's Boya that's got just a nose in front. This is going to be the run down towards the first overtaking place. And Mary Boya has the lead.
He does indeed, but Freddie Slater, who tried to squeeze him, is on the outside line down to Mandarin. Here comes Tio Nail at the inside. Slater goes a little bit wider, Nail to the inside. Now this is where Boya is under attack because he's giving a toe. Tio Nail keeps on coming. Side by side they run down towards Lisboa. Nail has to give way. Slater thinks about the outside line, down to the braking zone. Hold your breath. Do they all get through for the first time? So far so good. 1 or 2 go a little bit wide, but it looks as though Mary Boya has been able to hang on to the advantage. Slater second. You look back from the leader's car. Climb up San Francisco Hill. It is Boya from Slater from Nail.
So Mary Boya really reacted well to a start from Freddie Slater that tried to defend that position, but Mary Boya was absolutely determined, wasn't he? And he made the place, and he made it stick as well.
But he's not out of the woods yet, in as much as he needs to try to get away by a couple of lengths. Otherwise, come the end of the lap, Slater can use the toe in order to get another run at Lisboa. So Boya needs to go like stink on cold tyres on this first lap and try to break away. Easier said than done.
It favours the brave, doesn't it, here at Macau? And we have a yellow flag being shown down at turn 4. And meanwhile, Mary Boya is still keeping it all together. He really can't put a wheel wrong here because Freddie Slater is right in his wheel tracks around the first lap of this 72nd Macau Grand Prix, up towards the left-hander at Donna Maria. It's a long left-hander. It leads up to the no overtaking position on the circuit. That's the Melco hairpin, and that is why, oh dear.
That's at San Francisco. You've lost Charlie Wirtz, Kiyoshi Umegaki, Reza Seaworth, and he's involved in all of that. The safety car is being deployed. I'm not entirely convinced the safety car can get through there.
No.
But the safety car has been deployed. It may have to come to a halt, but the race has had to be neutralised. Well, they'd all got through Lisboa, but then it's kicked off at the next corner of San Francisco. So safety car deployed, and now you understand how important it was for Mary Boya to try to jump ahead. He has done it, and as we saw last year, if the race suffers multiple interruptions, you're in the pound seat straight away. Freddie Slater was really aggressive to try to make sure Boya did not get through, but fair play, Mary Boya was brave and stood his ground on the inside despite being crowded by Slater.
Yeah, and he really did, and he made sure that he maintained his position, and it paid off as well because he was the one that got the best, I reckon, traction off the line at the start of the race. I'm still slightly perplexed by the angle that Freddie Slater came to a stop down there on the grid, because it's not an angle that I've seen before when you line up on pole position here at Macau, but there must have been a plan behind it, mustn't there? This is the bottom of San Francisco Hill.
Yeah, Wirtz got a tag from behind, and then all of a sudden there's nowhere for people to go. Some try and avoid, some are just spooked by what's going on ahead, and I think the one at the very back there rattled towards the barrier, so it's going to take a lap or two to clear up those 4 damaged cars. And people in the far end of the stand of Lisboa will have seen that happening in the distance. So this is the run from Mandarin down to Lisboa. It's a 15-lap race, and safety car laps eat into it. So the race being kept going. The other option is, of course, that you stop the race, but then you have a long countdown to restart, and we have to be on a tight timetable here because not only are people on flights home, but also the roads open at 6 o'clock, not 5 past, but bang on the allotted hour. So out of Lisboa they come, and let's have a look at the road and see how the recovery operation is going. It looks like it's underway pretty rapidly. The marshal's board's there saying peel to the inside, and when instructed by race control, they'll be on track. Actually, it looks like they've managed to clear quite a few wrecks already.
Isn't it?
Very swift.
It is incredible how quickly they can get cars cleared here, and they know exactly what the job is here at Macau. They've got all of the equipment, they've got all of the personnel on every potential corner to get things clear as quickly as possible. And you know what, it was only a couple of minutes ago that we were saying, can the safety car get through here? Well, yes, it can. In fact, the whole field can get through, and I think we might be racing before we know it.
Yeah, the safety car boards and flags, as you see, are around the circuit, but the race direction team, the 2 British officials, have Simon Nana Prasagan and his deputy Paul Burns will be looking at not only the pictures that we're all looking at, but also at the race control the posts and saying, okay, how long is it going to take for that to be moved and get those marshals away, and how long will it take for the cars to come back through and make a call as quickly as to get the race underway. They don't want young drivers all ever so anxious to get going to be delayed any more than is necessary. We've just had storming through Charlie Vert, so he has survived the drama. Let's have a look at the replay of the start. So Slater, with his curious angle, launches the car away. That puts it in a straight line, and then straight away, look, comes right across on Murray Boya. That was very aggressive. Whether it's overly aggressive, you can discuss, but Boya was having none of it, and he went through on the inside.
Yeah, Boya was determined, wasn't he? And he was the best launch off the line, for sure. Murray Boya from the outside of the front row of the grid. And just a little glance in the mirror to see where Freddie Slater is now. Well, the answer is behind you. And so too is Teo Nile as well. So some very quick drivers around Murray Boya, but he was not put off, was he? This the wiggle under braking for the right-hander at Lisboa. He's through, the rest of the field streamed through, and it wasn't until we got to the next turn at the bottom of San Francisco Hill that we saw the coming together.
That was looking back from Boya's car, and as he crests the hill, it all kicks off. This is looking back from Slater's car then, so he launches off the line and suddenly realises that Boya has gone. So what's he got to do? He's got to try and defend, and he moves right across. There's nowhere really that Boya can go other than either stand on the brakes or go to the pit wall. So thankfully he's afforded just enough room, but Slater has to slot in behind him the other side of Reservoir Bend, and this the run towards Mandarin, with the poleman now down in second place.
A very, very good start for Murray Boya, and a very determined drive after the start as well. The net result of that is he leads Freddie Slater. Great view as well. You get an idea of the speed going into the right-hander at Lisboa. Murray Boya turns in first, kissing the curb on the entry to the corner, and Freddie Slater right there behind. Up they go, up the hill. Let's have a look at Freddie Slater closing up on the back of Murray Boya. This would not be an overtaking place, that's for sure, but he does have a look, doesn't he? My goodness, goes side by side. Boy, oh boy, that was brave stuff.
Not sure he could have gone round the outside, but now talk about brave. Look at Murray Boya's start, because any moment Slater's going to cut right across. Look at that, nearly banging wheels, and Boya did not flinch. Freddie Slater didn't just try to close the door, he had a padlock ready to fit as well, but Murray Boya kept on coming, and brave stuff between both of them on the run down through turns 1, 2 to 3.
Goodness me, what a lot of excitement to cram into about 30 seconds of action around the streets of Macau on the gear circuit. The safety car is coming in this lap. Tremendous work by the marshals and the course officials as well, getting that problem down at the bottom of San Francisco Hill clear. We are about to go racing once again. We're going to see Freddie Slater having a look here in a very tight and twisty section on the circuit. Whoa! But Murray Boya just keeps a nose in front.
I think Slater saw a gap and went for it. He then realised he was never going to do it because the wall was coming up.
How's it going to finish?
Yeah, it certainly said to Murray Boya, I've not given up, you're not going to win this without a fight. Safety car in this time. Now, it is often said that safety cars breed safety cars. Let's hope today that is not true. We don't want to see that BMW again. Pedro Cuchero, the driver of it, has had more than enough track time, so don't big up your part. You can go and park that now. Let's try and get the race through to the end, because this will start to give us a better idea of the Boya, Slater, and then Enzo Deligny in third place battle. Teo Nail is fourth, Mathieu Colnaghi is fifth, Taito Kato sixth, James Igozzi seventh, Evan Gilter is eighth, Rashid Al-Daheri is ninth, Noah Stromstead is in 10th place. Safety car will be in this time. This is lap 3.
Here we go then, looking back at Murray Boya, the race leader, the Aston Martin young driver, and as he works the car, works the wheel to keep that heat into the tyres. For the moment, the BMW peels off into pit lane. We get this Grand Prix back underway, the 72nd Macau Grand Prix. So far, Murray Boya has had nerves of steel around the gear circuit here at Macau, and boy, has he needed them.
So Murray Boya from Freddie Slater, from Enzo Deligny. It is therefore, in terms of the teams, Pinnacle from Prema, from R Ace, the top 3. And the blue car of Murray Boya comes through the hairpin that yesterday in the F4 qualifying race on the very last lap claimed a victim, a driver who was in second place. Finn McLaughlin hooked his right rear wheel around the Armco managed to break the suspension. So you've got to be very careful, even though it looks like a tight corner, and because you can't overtake, there's no issue around it. You've still got to be ever so neat and precise. So Murray Boya controls the restart. He comes through Black Sounds and he pulls the pin.
Certainly does, accelerates away. We get the race back underway now, and Freddie Slater tried some very brave manoeuvres on Murray Boya before we had the safety car. We go green now, so green flag is being waved. The race about to get back underway. They round the final bend, our bend, up towards the line, and we are racing once again for the 72nd Macau Grand Prix. Murray Boya it is that leads. In second place, Freddie Slater. They have pulled away a little bit on the restart from the third place car, and as they accelerate down, Freddie Slater is mirroring every manoeuvre by Murray Boya, trying to keep in the slipstream as they head down through Mandarin, the very, very quick part of the circuit on the run down towards Lisboa. Freddie Slater once again goes alongside on the outside line. They close. Freddie Slater it is that leads into Lisboa. Murray Boya slots in second place, but Freddie Slater back to the front of the field.
That's the benefit of the tow, so you don't need things like DRS when you've got a section of circuit like that. The Prema Racing Theodore squad very happy indeed. Now Slater has got to try to break away from Boya, so he doesn't have that done to him on the next lap, and Freddie Slater is starting to build a little bit of a gap from Delaney, then third behind Boya. Fourth it is Nail, fifth it's Kolnagi, sixth is Kaito, but you could see that coming. As you said, he was mirroring everything that Boya did, determined to stay in the slipstream, and then that slipstream effect just drags you along, gave him all of that extra space. Boya, I think, rather expected that by staying on the inside, Slater would not have the room on the outside, would not have the line on the outside to attack, but he was wrong about that.
Wow, what a battle it has been so far between these two. Bravery and then some for the 72nd Macau Grand Prix. They turn into the right-hander at Police, on towards Moorish, through the right-hander at Moorish corner, and then on towards the left-hander at Donna Maria. What's being looked into, incident involving, I think, 5 cars is being investigated by race control. Meanwhile, the race leader continues up towards the left-hander at Donna Maria and on towards Melco Hairpin. The rest of the field thread their way through, no overtaking through the Melco Hairpin, but then down the hill the circuit opens up, accelerating as they go down towards the completion of lap number 4 in this 15-lap Grand Prix. It is being led by Freddie Slater.
He's getting away a little bit as he's been banging in absolute best sectors, but Boya has got to try to get within striking distance so he can benefit from the tow. Slater then accelerates out of our bend. Boya is close, but I'm not convinced he's near enough as they come across the line. It's 0.8 of a second already. This is Murray Boya's view. He did the hard yards off the start, but then wasn't able to break away on the restart. Down towards Mandarin they now go. Boya going after Slater, then he is in the wheel tracks. It looks like he might be closing just a fraction as they get to the corner. Cope with the bright sunshine. Here they come down towards Lisboa. This is where the slipstream really kicks in. This is where Boya ought to be able to close a little bit, and he is closing, but not close enough to make a move. But his teammate Teo Nail in the background is having a go at Enzo Delaney. They're wheel to wheel as they come into the corner. Delaney on the inside, Nail on the outside, and he has to give way. Delaney hangs onto the place.
Within an inch of the barrier on the exit of Lisboa corner. Boy, oh boy, this is exciting stuff, not just for the lead of the race, but also for the final podium position as well. Talk about the respect that there is between the drivers to be able to do this and to go so close into that right-hander at Lisboa. And every time they come down towards the corner, you can hear in the background, just from the microphones on the cameras, the oohs and ahs of the crowd and the grandstand. Just amazing. They are having a real treat in this race.
Up front, Slater is edging away again on the mountain section from Murray Boya. We're looking at 3rd and 4th and 5th here, namely Enzo Delaney, Teo Nail and Mattia Kolnagi. That is Delaney, who has been a front runner all weekend, but right now is over a second adrift of the race leader. So Murray Boya up front as the cars again go to Moorish. So Slater from Boya, gap back, Delaney 3rd, Nail, Kolnagi, and then Taito Kato in 6th place. Through Donna Maria goes this 3rd, 4th, 5th battle pack. And to the Melco hairpin is Freddie Slater, who is continuing to edge away. It's a 10th per sector, really. Although under braking for Melco, Boya may be just a little bit nearer. Getting a replay of how Slater made the move, and it was all to do with the tow. Look, once he's in the slipstream, he just gets dragged along, just like DRS effectively mirrors, and round to the outside he goes. And he has so much pace that I think Boya was rather hoping even if he did get level, he'd run out of straight. Well, he didn't. He got the move done long before the corner, really.
Beautifully done, using the slipstream, using all the tools at your disposal and making it work as well. The net result of that, he leads, and we now complete 5 laps in this 72nd Macau Grand Prix, and a fastest lap of the race as well. 2:16.758, that's the fastest lap for Freddie Slater.
So Freddie Slater leads the way then. We'll see in a moment the red and white Prema racing car up front. Murray Boya in second. That in third is Enzo Deligny, and fourth behind him. The blue car is Teo Nail. Then you'll see the Red Bull livery adorning Mattia Colnagi's car. The lead gap is down, isn't it? Coming towards Lisboa that time with half a second pull back in the toe by Murray Boya. That brings him back into the mix a little bit. Further down. Yeah, go on.
And the important thing was not to make a desperate move when you're too far back, to close that gap every lap. It's a Grand Prix. You've got quite a few laps in order to do these moves, and very cleverly, Murray Boya has closed down that gap on Freddie Slater.
Chip away, corner by corner. Freddie Slater leads then. He has just responded by doing an absolute best second sector, but still Boya is closer than he was at the start of the lap, but he's got to be brave along this section. And Slater perhaps is just stretching the advantage once more, although Murray Boya yesterday was very, very quick indeed during the course of that qualifying race. Bit of a twitch from Slater then, sudden snap of oversteer as he's a bit keen with the right foot. Fastest lap of the race thus far done by Slater, but we haven't had that many racing laps, and as the cars get lighter on fuel and the tyres get even warmer, expect that to come down a fraction. Slater leading.
And it is that tiny little twitch, that's all it will take to close down this gap. It was 0.8 of a second at the end of the last lap, and you can see that Murray Boya, as you say, David, is chipping away at bringing down that gap, because he knows the value of the slipstream running down through Mandarin on the run towards Lisboa, and that is the opportunity that Freddie Slater took last time. And let's see what Murray Boya can do, but he needs to be close enough.
Looking back from Slater's car as he brakes for Fisherman's Bend, goes right, that's Murray Boya behind him. And as they come out the other side, the gap has stretched possibly a little bit. It's still Slater doing the better sector times in 2, in 3 and 4, but it was such a good save by Boya in sector 1. It's helped over the course of the lap. Last time it was 0.899. To the eye, I would say it's gone up a fraction, actually. Yeah, it has, to over a second. So Murray Boya has not been able to stay with Slater across the mountain section of the circuit, and that's going to be his undoing, because it means when he gets to this waterfront part of the racetrack, he's lost a bit more ground lap on lap on lap, and as they go through again, he needs that slipstream, but at some point, if he's not careful, Slater will be just out of reach. Might be now.
So 6 laps are complete. Freddie Slater once again with the fastest lap of the race at 2:16.236. What of Murray Boya bringing down that gap? It extends on that lap to just over 1 second as they go side by side further down into Lisboa. The good news is that they are driving sensibly into Lisboa. They're not trying anything at this stage in the race. Too desperate.
And Boya did gain a little bit on Slater last time. Here is Enzo Deligny, who is still trying to fend off Teo Nail, and another 4/10 pullback by Slater in the next section of the lap. So he can lose a little bit because he gives the toe to Boya, but as soon as they get up the hill, he's away and gone again. Slater excels seemingly across this twisty section of the circuit. I'm not saying Boya is slow, far from it, but Slater is absolutely supreme through here at the minute.
So 6 laps are complete now in the 72nd Macau Grand Prix. We're looking at the battle for third place, the final position on the podium. Of course, they all want to win, but being on the podium at Macau is still a very special feeling indeed. And these two really are slugging it out for that final place on the podium, and it's a great battle as well. Enzo just fending off Theo as they go through the left-hander at Donna Maria on towards the Melco hairpin. The leaders already having turned out of the hairpin, and I reckon advantage Slater on this occasion.
Yeah, definitely. You can see it was a much, much bigger gap than we'd had hitherto as Matteo De Paolo comes into the Melco hairpin. This is first gear, 35 kilometres an hour, almost walking pace, and it's a right old traffic jam that Matteo De Paolo has got himself into in 11th place as we await the race leaders to come up over the timing line and to put now lap 7 into the book. De Paolo comes down towards Fisherman's. This is Enzo Deligny in third place, but Slater is away and gone, and barring a mistake, I don't think Boya can fight back now. The gap is nearly 2 seconds.
Nearly 2 seconds, so another fastest lap for Freddie Slater. First time we've seen during the Grand Prix somebody going into the 2:15s around the gear circuit. 2:15.939 on that occasion for Freddie Slater. I'll tell you what, it does show you just how vital it is at the start of the race to make those determined moves. Here we go again, determined stuff.
Teo Nail in the blue car to the outside, and then he dives to the inside and he locks up under braking as Delaney shuts the door in his face. That was committed by both of them. Nail is the quicker of the two, but he cannot find a way past Delaney. Nail unable to hammer home an advantage right now as they climb up the hill, nose to tail.
But it's neat racing by the two of them. Absolutely, it's so close to be running so close and to be giving each other a little bit of respect as well. As you say, Teo Nail has got huge speed, but Delaney is not making a mistake. He's not opening the door. The onus is on the car, which is currently in 4th place, to find a way through. And at the moment, Delaney is not allowing that to happen.
But while he's defending like this, so the top two getting away, Freddie Slater last time 1.9 seconds clear. And we've got the cars here into Lisboa. Rashid Al-Dakhari at the back, and that's James Igotzi, I think, running wide, just gets away with it. That possibly opens the door for Evan Gilter. All of that's going on 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So you're looking at Delaney 3rd, you're looking at Nail 4th, behind him, and 5th is the Red Bull hued car of Matteo Coronaghi. And up front, Freddie Slater, as the car gets lighter on fuel, is just getting faster and faster and faster in sectors. And Murray Boya must feel rather broken now.
Well, yeah, and a bit worn out after all the action of the first couple of laps, because boy, did that take determination and skill as well. Just brilliant stuff. Those opening couple of laps, something to remember. Freddie Slater, meanwhile, has got the fastest lap of the race, the 2:15.939 after lap number 7. And it's a 15-lap Grand Prix, this one. Teo Nail had pulled back a little bit, fallen back a little bit from Enzo Delaney in the mountain section on the circuit, and that is the same story as they come up and complete the lap now. So 8 laps are complete. Freddie Slater leads by 3 seconds now.
The only hope Boya has got is either twofold: a mistake from Slater or a mistake from somebody else that brings out a safety car and lets them bunch up, because he's out of that slipstream range now. And so Freddie Slater just has to bring it home. He has done what he needed to do, push early on and get the gap. And even though he didn't lead into Lisboa on the first time of asking, he was able to use the toe and do what Boya had done to him to get back in front. So Freddie Slater now, having got himself into the lead, pushing on to make sure he escapes and doesn't offer a toe to Murray Boya behind him. We're on now to lap number 9.
Go on, sorry.
I was going to say drama here, because you've got Dakhari up past now James Igotzi, so a bit of a shuffle going on down to Lisboa, and I've rather feared for a moment that might have been generating contact, but they've all survived.
Teo Nail was not close enough to Delaney that time coming into Lisboa. Had dropped back a little bit on the mountain section, and that happened as well as they crossed the line and went down into Lisboa. We've got a yellow flag at turn 3 at Lisboa, because that is the number 9 car, which is nose in and rather demolished at the front of the car for the car of Oscar Wirtz.
So things are going from bad to Wirtz for Oscar. That's his second big accident of the weekend, and this potentially is what Murray Boya needs: a safety car to get the field bunched up, to allow the marshals to move that car. And this now is, as I say, Boya's best opportunity. He's just done, incidentally, a couple of personal best sectors in his efforts to try to close on Slater. He has not closed, but they are quicker than they were hitherto. And this is Matteo De Pallo making a move, going through the mountain section, and that is ever so brave as he goes through to gain a ground. Safety car deployed, and that has just happened ahead of so Matteo De Pallo just getting himself through the traffic. It gets the head just before the yellow flag, but we've had the safety car deployed again.
Wouldn't mind seeing that again. That looks like it might have been one of those one-off manoeuvres that pays off on the very tight and twisty section of the circuit here at Macau. Goodness me, there's room for bravery here, isn't there?
And it shows the commitment that the drivers have. You know, they're not prepared to be 8th or 7th or 6th. They all want to be as high up the order as they can. They don't need to worry about points. That's the other beauty of this race. It's not one of 20 in which you've got to score points. You just go for it.
And that is precisely what they're doing. That's one of the things that we absolutely love about the Macau Grand Prix. Young drivers that have so much to look forward to in their careers. Let's have a look back at Matteo De Paolo, looking at the blue car, just a couple of cars ahead, over onto the left-hand side of the circuit.
It's James Igozzi.
Gets one place. And Matteo De Paolo says, thanks very much, I'll have some of your bad fortune as well, and makes the place.
That's going up to Donna Maria.
You can only squeeze a couple of cars in there.
Can't remember the last time I saw anybody overtake going up to Donna Maria. Noel Stromstad, incidentally, was the first one to get past Igozzi, and then De Paolo as well. Look at the lock that they have to get round that Melco hairpin. You just got a glimpse on that rear-facing camera. So Freddie Slater there, look, has been caught, understandably, under the safety car by Mari Boya. They crawl their way through Lisboa, and the track's pretty clear, isn't it? Car gone. There's a bit of bodywork that needs scooping up, but I reckon we should be able to go racing next time around.
I think you might be right, and I think the award for the best time marks on the tarmac of the gear circuit go to that accident from Oscar Wirtz, because thick black lines are the telltale signs straight into the wall at Lisboa.
That is
Bang.
Oscar Wirtz understeering into the corner, too fast, can't make it, can't slow down in time, bang. But he tried to make the corner and didn't go up the escape road, so that's why he's there rather than without a broken car.
Once again, hugely quick recovery by the course workers, the teams that work around the circuit, and the marshals as well, to get that car clear. There is a huge crane which is based down at Lisboa, which makes light work of any of the vehicles that we have racing over the course of the Macau Grand Prix week, and once again doing a super job.
As to is Freddie Slater, and now he has got to try and do a beautiful restart on this lap, because that's when the safety car will be in, to try to prevent Mari Boya from having a go at Lisboa. So much as we normally say, oh no, we've got a safety car, actually this has now spiced up the race, and Freddie Slater's restart is going to be crucial, and so too is Mari Boya's. He cannot be caught napping for a split second, and look, Slater is already showing intent by trying to get away. Boya comes up towards Moorish, but the safety car lights are still on. They'll be extinguished after the hairpin, coming down through Black Sands, and Mari Boya knows that this might be his last chance to win the Macau Grand Prix. He has been gifted an opportunity, courtesy of the Oscar Wirtz incident at T3.
He needs to keep as close as he can to the back of the race leader, back to the back of Freddie Slater, as they thread their way around the Melco hairpin. Are still under the control of the BMW safety car, accelerating down. Mari Boya, all his concentration now on the restart of this race, and getting close, but not too close to the back of Freddie Slater, because Freddie Slater is controlling this.
He is indeed, and you can now beat that pace setter. Once you go, you've got to keep on going, which Slater does now, so he accelerates away. It's a decent restart, but Mari Boya does stay with him, and that is going to be important then as they come out of Fisherman's. But now, look, Slater does get away a little bit. Another length, another 2 lengths maybe. That car has got great pace. This is Boya's view, and he knows he's got one final run, but equally, frustratingly for Mari Boya, he's got Enzo Dellini right up behind him, and that's going to take up his attention. We're back racing.
Mari Boya got a bit of a wiggle on there, and that's what cost him. So he's got Dellini right in his wheel tracks now, and that cost Mari Boya. They once again mirror each other's moves as they go down towards Lisboa, and Mari Boya on the tail of Freddie Slater. Dellini has dropped back a little bit because Boya is with Freddie Slater on the run down towards Lisboa. They go side by side on the outside line. Mari Boya in front as they go into Lisboa. Boy, oh boy, what a restart.
Brilliant move. Mari Boya goes through. Enzo Dellini is being looked at for moving under braking, but Mari Boya has put himself into the lead. But here we go again. What he's got to do now is get away on that mountain section, and that's where Slater has been quicker previously, because if he can't get away, Slater's going to attack him on that same part of the racetrack in the lap's time. And look how much quicker Slater is. He had to stand on the brakes there, heading up towards maternity. So it is Mari Boya in the lead, but it's not enough of the lead to be safe.
This is a classic Grand Prix at Macau. The 72nd Macau Grand Prix is absolutely alight And once again, Mary Boya it is that leads, and Freddie Slater that's doing the chasing. Now, you can't afford to put a wheel wrong. If you are Mary Boya now, you might not have the out-and-out pace that we've seen from Freddie Slater, but you cannot afford to put a wheel wrong, and then the onus is on Freddie Slater to find a way around. This is absolutely enthralling.
Absolutely right. Mary Boya then it is in the lead as they come up to Donna Maria. We know how quick Freddie Slater is on this section of the circuit, and we know that if you're within about a second or so, you have an opportunity on the run down to Lisboa. So that means that Mary Boya is going to have to defend oh so vigorously. He almost needs to get that car on lard for half a lap to make it wider and bigger to prevent Slater from finding a way through. Down towards Fisherman's they come. They're not quite nose to tail, but Slater is within striking distance.
Fisherman's Bend, very, very quick part of the circuit, and now the circuit opens up as Freddie Slater is the pursuer rather than the pursued. Once again, we've had this situation before. Mary Boya needs to keep everything absolutely neat and tidy. Was that neat and tidy for Slater? He knocked the wall. Freddie Slater.
He's taken the wing off. He's damaged the suspension. Freddie Slater is done. His Macau Grand Prix dream is done for the second year in a row, and that was on him. He carried too much speed into the corner. He's broken the left rear corner. Mary Boya leads the way. Freddie Slater's car is stranded on the pit straight, and so now the battle between Deligny and Nail is for second place, and Mary Boya leads the Macau Grand Prix.
Mary Boya leads the Macau Grand Prix by an increasing margin. Look at this battle for second place. It was the battle for third place. It's still Deligny that's just ahead, but Teo Nall is trying to do everything to take that place away. Every time you hear the cheers of the grandstand, and now Freddie Slater. Oh, Freddie Slater climbs out of the car. The disappointment, he did everything. He had huge pace. He led the race. And then that bash coming around the corner, the fast part of the circuit, coming up towards the completion of the lap. And you can't get out of that. We've got a safety car again.
Yeah, he's the cause of it instead of taking advantage. Look, too much speed, snap of oversteer. He tries to fight it. It gets wider, and bang, what a feeling, into the wall. Takes the rear of the left-hand side off. Then it tweaks the front. You can see he's fighting the steering wheel. But Freddie Slater's Macau Grand Prix dream is over again. And the safety car deployed for the third time of asking, and this time it is for the man that started on pole position, for a man who led the Grand Prix. Freddie Slater will be distraught.
And in fairness, had huge pace as well. Freddie Slater was putting in those faster slaps. Then the safety car came out for Oscar Wirtz, and then the restart advantage Mary Boya. And wow, oh wow, all he has to do now is to keep everything neat and tidy. And Mary Boya, once this race gets back underway, can almost sense the feeling on the top step of the podium. And he's worked hard for this.
He has, absolutely.
He's worked really hard for this. Freddie Slater, credit to Freddie, he was incredibly quick and mighty. And what you have to be is also neat and tidy. And that, I'm afraid, he was not.
So Freddie Slater out of the race. Now this was the move. It wasn't that Slater crashed out of his way. This was the move that Mary Boya took. In the slipstream, moved to the outside, and Freddie Slater had no option but to see that quicker car go by. He tried to fight back coming into the corner, put on the outside line. Mary Boya really worked hard for that, and fair play from being over a second adrift. Well, we did say the safety car was the lifeline, and Mary Boya seized that opportunity. So he leads from Deligny from Nail, Colnaghi 4th, Gilter 5th, Carto 6th. There's the replay again from the onboard. Boya goes by. Slater tries to fight back on the outside, but that was more in hope than in anticipation, I think.
But what a thrilling battle between the two of them. What a treat of a battle for the lead of the race here at the Macau Grand Prix. Two absolutely superb drivers showing off their skills around the gear circuit here at Macau. And it has been a joy to watch. And it's not over yet. We are under the control of the safety car. I think Freddie Slater could be by and large, very pleased with the speed that he showed over the course of 4 days here at the Macau Grand Prix. But when it comes to it, you have to be brave.
Indeed. So, and you've got to be smooth and consistent and error-free, and not all of those boxes were ticked at a circuit, dare one say, that rather sorts the men from the Boyas. So this team now with cars first and third. The Pinnacle Motorsport team, Murray Boya, and then Theo Nail in third place. I think Nail will be another one to watch on the resumption of this race. That was Freddie Slater's Tatu's chassis. It's off the circuit. We can go racing.
We certainly can. The recovery is now complete for Freddie Slater's, the erstwhile race leader here for the 72nd Macau Grand Prix. And as the field are being led around by the BMW safety car, lights are still on at the moment, but Murray Boya will be thinking and planning about the restart of this race, just as he was for the last restart, which he got to perfection. Kept on the back of Freddie Slater and made the move stick as well. This time he's going to have to keep it incredibly neat and tidy, because Enzo Dellini can sense there may be a top step of the podium here available as well. And
don't forget that Theo Nail was on pole position as we have the safety car in this time for yesterday's qualifying race. In other words, he was the best driver in qualifying, so Nail I still think might be on. Nail in this riveting battle for the race lead as the cars now make the run up the hill. And so Enzo Dellini in second place, Theo Nail in third, but it's Murray Boya in the lead.
It certainly is, and as the safety car is about to peel off into the pit lane, Murray Boya, an incident involving 5 cars in total is being investigated. Having a look back at the race leader, proudly with the Aston Martin sunstrip on the visor. It's a very new appointment for Murray Boya, our race leader, and a very proud one it will be as well.
So he has the advantage as an Aston Martin. The long list of numbers was all to do with the lap 1 accident, and it's been deemed a racing incident, so the stewards are concentrating on what might come, and the resumption of the race with 2 laps to go effectively is what we're going to have when they cross the timing line. The green flag drops then, so it is the blue car of Boya, the white and dark blue of Dellini, and then the pale blue car there of Theo Nail. Now let's see if anybody does a Slater and runs wide coming out of our bend. So far so good as the race is back on, and it's Murray Boya now to try to break that toe. Left he goes, right he goes, left he goes on the pit straight, then into Reservoir Bend, and this is where Dellini has got to do a Boya, hasn't he? He's got to get in the wheel tracks, get in the slipstream, and the move may well be on as Murray Boya, almost like on a formation lap, goes one side and the other. Colmaghi fourth is not weaving, and that's giving Evan Gilter a chance as here comes Dellini to the outside. Nail to the outside, he's got past one, he's trying to get past his teammate, there's another one in the wall in the background, and this is going to be significant as Nail jumps Boya for the race lead. Boya tries to fight back, but Theo Nail goes third to first, and with another broken car, we might be having yet another interruption, and with only 2 laps to go, that would take you to the end. There's mayhem breaking out there as well. Look, more cars in the wall. That move of Nail has put him in the lead, and I think we're going to end up with a safety car to the checkered flag.
Boy, oh boy, what a move. What a restart. How much excitement do you want in the space of 15 laps in one Grand Prix? Macau gives everything, doesn't it? Theo Nail with the restart of that race. We'll have a look at that again. I am absolutely certain of that, but
so we've lost 1 or 2. Rashid Al-Daheri, I think, has got caught up. We saw Tokyo Suzuki up the escape road. So all of a sudden, with more battered cars, I fear another safety car is coming, and that would be onto the last lap. So what happens? Race direction are going to be looking at this. They can't keep the race going if there are cars in dangerous places, but they want to keep the race going if they possibly can. So let's have another look then as the leader, Theo Nail, not only leads the race, but he's got a gap. He's up at Donna Maria.
He certainly is around the long left-hander, heading up towards the Melco hairpin. I think we're going to have another look at that move for the leader of the race in a couple of moments. Here we go.
So look in the background, that's Al Daheri sideways, and he's clipped, which straightens him up and then knocked him into the barrier. So that's Rashid Al Daheri gone in the background. Safety car called. Teo Nail, double toe, into the lead of the race. It all got a bit leery behind, but as they cross the line this time, it will be Teo Nail in the lead, and he is going to be able to come through to win the Grand Prix, because we aren't going to have enough racing laps left. The safety car is deployed at the start of the last lap, as that is Suzuki up the Escape Road with broken suspension.
You have to make the most of these opportunities when you get them, and when the safety car comes in and you can see that opportunity to get a tow going down towards Lisboa. Well, you saw them doing it, mirroring every move that Mari Boya was doing, and then the advantage held and the position taken by Teo Nail. Started, as you say, for the qualification race yesterday on pole position, wasn't able to convert that into a race win. That was won by Freddie Slater, but that restart, he's going to be replaying that in his mind for a very long time.
Mari Boya was so busy fending off Enzo Deligny that there's nothing he could do about Teo Nail. So they go past the stricken car of Rashid Al Daheri. Bad race for Preva, with Daheri and Slater both gone. And Charles Lung quite a long way down the order in, what, 22nd place. So Teo Nail led for one corner effectively before out came the safety car, but it was the one that counted. And it illustrates, doesn't it, the importance of the tow and of this section of the circuit.
Wow. How many people predicted how this race was going to pan out? Neither you nor I, that's for sure.
Looking back here from Mari Boya's point of view, as the cars came all the way down through Mandarin. So that's Deligny, look, he gets a mega tow, but look at Nail. It's as though he's got a double-sized engine in the car or something, just goes thundering past, and that puts him into the lead of the race. It's all broken out behind, and so at this point we know that it's a vital move for the race lead. He's ahead coming out of Lisboa, and Mari Boya, try as he might, sadly is yet again going to be vanquished at Macau. Teo Nail then.
Wow.
Pole for the qualifying race, and he's going to win the Grand Prix.
We have seen so many brave manoeuvres during the course of this Grand Prix. Some of them pay off and some of them don't, but certainly that one for Teo Nail has paid off. He leads the field behind the safety car on the final lap of the 72nd Macau Grand Prix in the evening sunshine. You know what? This crowd have been treated rather well to the action today at the Macau Grand Prix. And what a finale we've had for the 72nd running of the Macau Grand Prix.
The frustration on the one hand is that we've had 4 safety car periods, but it's been an exciting race because of the safety car, bunching people up and then giving them a chance to make that move on the run down towards Lisboa. So through they turn, and Teo Nail is going to be greeted this time with a checker flag, and Mari Boya must think, well, hang on a minute, I have worked so hard to lead this race, and I've overtaken for the lead more than anybody, and I still can't win it.
That's the way things happen at Macau sometimes, and as much as the racing forms a huge part of it, so too do the interruptions that we have, and the interruptions and the resumption of racing have led us to some very memorable moments in this Grand Prix, so we have to be thankful for those restarts. Boy, oh boy, quite looking forward to watching this race back myself as well. Might watch it back a few times because this has been incredibly exciting. Second year that we've had the FR, the Formula Regional cars, all coming together here at Macau, and a really good decision for having these cars here at Macau for the Macau Grand Prix, because they're brilliant. And this year we've had the addition of Formula 4 cars all coming together from their domestic championships around the world and competing here at Macau. Those cars are tried and tested and proved here, but this is the second year of proof for the Formula Regional cars, and I think the proof is in the Grand Prix. We have had a superbly exciting Grand Prix, and we are about to see the final bend on the 72nd Macau Grand Prix, and the winner will be Teo Nail.
The checker flag awaits then. It's not the way, ideally, that you finish the Macau Grand Prix, but a win is a win is a win for a man that was 7th in Formula Regional in the Middle East, who drove in the FIA Formula 3 Championship this year. The 72nd Macau Grand Prix won by Teo Nail. He comes across the line to win from Mari Boya, his teammate. Third to Enzo Deligny from Mattia Cornaghi. Then in fifth place it is Taito Kato, and Evan Gilta rounds out the top 6. What odds would you have got on Teo Nail after the pace of Freddie Slater early doors? But you've got to be there at the end.
A totally unpredictable Grand Prix. Who would have predicted that the manoeuvres that we had, the excitement that we had, the battles that we had, it was side by side for third place for so many laps, wasn't it? With nose to tail, Enzo Deligny and the eventual race leader, Teo Nail. You know what, when Teo Nail didn't just take up one place, took up 2 places, and it was for the lead of the race as well. What a superb scene. They all slow down and take the applause of the crowd. It's an emotional thing, isn't it, to win here at Macau.
So Nail hammers home his advantage, and a great result for Teo Nail. Victorious in the end after the move of the day from third to first, just before that safety car came out. The drivers then making the run on this in-lap. Alan's right when he says they're emotional scenes down in the pit lane. Many of these drivers, second-generation racers, the families have been through it once, and now they're going through it a second time.
Wow. To pause and reflect and look back at the start of the race as well. That really quite a cute angle that Freddie Slater took for pole position. Well, it didn't work, did it? No. Because Mary Boya was so determined off the line, got his car in front, and then Freddie Slater was thinking about anything that could be done to take that place back away when it couldn't be done by the time they get down to Mandarin and then to Lisboa as well. And so many race lead changes over the course of that race.
So Freddie Slater a leader, Mary Boya a leader, but Teo Nail the winner, ahead just when it counted. So he was third as the cars came here into our bend. This is in replay then, the final restart there. Third is Teo Nail, and if you follow the next few corners, you'll see how Teo nailed victory. In the wheel tracks, coming down now towards Mandarin, going one side then the other, but the toe really kicks in the other side of Mandarin corner, doesn't it? So now Deligny goes through right on the back, almost too close, and perhaps just had to back out of it, but then eventually to the outside. Teo Nail gets that double toe, comes charging round the outside of both, and with a crash in the background, the safety car was inevitable. He timed that unknowingly, but timed it to perfection.
I'm not sure you can plan that kind of manoeuvre, can you? I think it's just an opportunity is presented and you have to make the most of it, and making the most of it, not knowing that the safety car was soon to come out was, well, it was what determined the Grand Prix. It was an absolutely superb move and an opportunistic move that has meant we have Teo Nail on the top step of the Grand Prix podium.
Just going back to Freddie Slater and the way that he lined up on the grid, one or two drivers, I understand, have been explaining that the pole position grid marks on the floor are a bit confusing because the main box have been covered by tyre marks, and it's hard for a driver to actually see that grid box. You can only see a slightly strange yellow line that is on a bit of an angle, and maybe that's why Freddie Slater lined up thus, just to try and explain that situation a little.
There's a lot of rubber down, and there are some 361 days for that tyre wear to be rubbed off the streets of Macau, because from 6 o'clock this evening for the next 361 days, this becomes, the gear circuit becomes the everyday streets of Macau once again. Just 4 days every year that we are treated to this amazing spectacle that is the Macau Grand Prix. And a Grand Prix winner comes to a stop down in Parc Fermé underneath the podium. And I wonder if it's sunk in just yet that he's a Grand Prix winner.
And to move away from drivers' names, Pinnacle the team, and this, I suspect, in terms of results, is the pinnacle. To win the Macau Grand Prix is quite something for the driver, for the team as well. Teo Nail jumps down from the car, rushes over to the team, almost hurls himself over the barrier. Wow, what a result. And Mary Boya, you've got to feel a bit of sympathy for, haven't you? I mean, he worked so hard for that, and he still comes away denied a win.
You're right. The celebrations down in Parc Fermé, and Enzo Dellini was there to pick up any places at any point, wasn't he? It was just the rub of how the green was in the 72nd Macau Grand Prix. Every year this race gives us drama, and once again it delivers. Just superb, and good to see the two of them having a hug at the end of the race. Mary Boya, well, he did everything he could, didn't he? Absolutely did. And Teo Nile, well, the celebrations will continue long beyond the podium here at Macau. A handshake with Enzo Dellini as well. The three drivers together down in Parc Fermé. They'll get the helmets off, they'll let a few things sink in, and I think hopefully we'll hear from them as well with Alex down there in Parc Fermé. And then they'll be invited up to the Grand Prix podium, where so many photographers and journalists have already formed up on the pit wall just opposite the podium. Drivers have to be weighed, of course, and Enzo Dellini just finishing his technical duties as far as weighing is concerned, and then getting handshakes for everyone else. Let's hear from the drivers then down in Parc Fermé with Alex.
Well, the Macau Grand Prix is the gift that keeps on giving, and the 72nd was no different thanks to you. That slingshot at the end, what a drive.
Incredible. I have no words. To be honest, I was not believing in this in the last lap. They made a mistake, and I just go full throttle 6 years, and I overtook them. Pace was there the whole weekend. The team, they are just amazing, the whole crew, and yeah, thanks to them. Now it's time to enjoy, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you do. Let's try and grab Mari if we can. Mari, Enzo. Mari, my word, your mindset on the grid to end up here. How are you feeling?
I'm not happy.
No.
I feel I did everything I could.
Yeah.
Freddy today was really strong. I pushed so hard at the beginning to try to catch him. He was with new tires, so it was super hard for me to stay with him. So when I realized I couldn't follow him, I started to, don't push, think on the tires, to maybe if there was a safety car or something, have a revenge. Still, he was super quick on the last two corners on the restart, and even though we overtook him, I take the gap. But yeah, Slipstream, I don't understand how he's so powerful. I was stopped on the straight, so couldn't do anything. This is racing. Thanks to the team for sure, and congratulations to my teammate. And yeah, Pito.
We're gutted for you.
So you've heard from the top two. Enzo Dellini there, the third place driver. Yeah, I don't think anyone's really surprised at the reaction of Mari Boya. He did work so hard, and he tried as hard as he possibly could, but it just illustrates how the toe works around here. And as the driver's now going to be taken up to the podium, Teo Nile, Mari Boya and Enzo Dellini are set to make their way to the podium, where they will be the Grand Prix trophies and also the FIA FR World Cup trophies as well. So the drivers being escorted up the stairs to the podium, and as the circuit falls silent for the last time, Teo Nile then, race winner from Mari Boya and Enzo Dellini. Mattia Colnaghi fourth ahead of Taito Kato and Evan Gilter. Seventh to Noah Stromsted from Matteo De Paolo, Yuki Sano, and it's Jose Garfias who will round out the top 10. 11th to Kenato Lee from Hio Yamakoshi. Timek Kwarchuk, the Euro Formula Open champion, 13th. James Igotzi, 14th after a couple of little minor moments early on. Enzo Ye, 15th from Sanapol from Puvasak. Owen Tangavelu was 17th, then it was Charlie Wirtz from Jin Nakamura. They were the finishers. We lost, deep breath, Rashid Al-Dhaheri, Tokiya Suzuki, Charles Lung, Freddie Slater. So all three of the Prema cars gone. We lost Oscar Wirtz, Kiyoshi Umagaki, Reza Seaworthen, and Newman Chi as well. It has been another enthralling, fascinating and yet destructive Macau Grand Prix, and Teo Nile it is who is the winner. Well, what a race, and what a result, and what a surprise. Teo Nail, perhaps at no real point in that race looked as though he was going to be a winner until, and the drama created by that last but one safety car period was enough to give him another opportunity. The Pinnacle team celebrates here. The Pinnacle squad with local assistance from the KCMG team. The drivers will soon be on the podium. The Macau team will take the podium ceremony. You'll hear then from the drivers. English voice of Macau these days, Chris Hartley, will be on the podium to talk to the drivers, and very shortly Mr. Sam Ho-Fei, the Chief Executive of the Macau SAR, will be on the podium. So too will Emanuele Pirro as the FIA Single-Seater Commission President. So the podium being made ready, and Sam Ho-Fei will be there in a moment, along with the drivers, along with the representatives of the winning team, KCMG Enya Pinnacle Motorsport, and along with Emanuele Pirro, of course, winner here of the Gia race, but now with his FIA hat on. Let's go to the podium, because 3 drivers are set to be presented to this huge crowd.
AFR World Cup. First of all, please welcome our winning drivers. The second runner-up, number 5, Enzo Danigni from France. And the first runner-up, number 7, Marie Boya from Spain. And the winner is number 6, David Nair. And for the winning team, it goes to KCMG Enya Pinnacle Motorsport. Please welcome the representative, Mr. John O'Hara. Congratulations, what a moment. And now is the national anthem for the winner.行政區行政長官岑浩輝先生向得獎車手頒獎。Please welcome Mr. Sam Ho-Fei, Chief Executive of the Macau Special Administrative Region, to present the laurel and the trophies. First to our second runner-up, number 5, Enzo Danigni from France. And to the first runner-up, number 7, Marie Boya from Spain. And winner, number 6, David Nair from France. Congratulations, and to the winning team, KCMG Enya Pinnacle Motorsport. Congratulations. 現在敦請長官閣下移步到中間與得獎車手合照留念。Please look to the front, to our cameras at the media zone. We're going to take a group photo with the Chief Executive. Please look to the front. 請長官閣下留步。現在讓我哋有請本屆大賽車6家主要贊助商嘅代表移步到我哋頒獎台嘅位置進行合照。And now we are welcoming the 6 major sponsors representative, including the Sense China Limited, MGM China Holdings Limited, Macau Resource and Entertainment Limited, SJM Resource SA, Galaxy Entertainment Group, and Win Resource Macau Limited. Together, please look to the front and let's take one more group photo. 請各位望向前方，我哋再嚟一張合照。Congratulations! May all winning drivers remain on the podium. 多謝各位嘉賓。 Thank you all of our presenting guests. 敦請長官閣下移步，亦都多謝各位嘉賓。And now, please welcome Mr. Emanuele Pichu, FIA Single-Seater Commission President, to present the trophy to our winning driver and the winning team. Please, Mr. Pichu. First to our winning driver, number 6, David Naed from France. Again, congratulations. And to the winning team, KCMG and your Pinnacle Motorsport, our representative, Mr. John O'Hara. So please, Mr. Pichu, yes, move yourself to the center and let's look to the front to take a group photo. Please look to the front for one more group photo. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Pichu. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite all the winning drivers and the team representatives to move to the top of the podium. And let's take one more group photo together for our winning drivers. All right, please look to the front again. Enjoy your glorious moment. The fans have been cheering you on all day long. Thank you. Please return to the procession, because now we're going to pass you the non-alcoholic champagne in accordance to the law of Macau. So the champagne is for you to gather to take a photo. Please hold the non-alcoholic champagne and look to the front, and let's take a photo. Please look to the front. It's for photo taking, please. Yes. Look to the front, hold the non-alcoholic champagne, and take photo. Congratulations, thank you. We're gonna enjoy this special tradition later together with all of our team members later, all right? And now I'll pass the mic to Chris. We're gonna have an interview section with the winning drivers.
Don't boo me. Enzo, last year you finished just off the podium in 4th place. You were determined to make sure you got here this year. You worked really hard. For the first half of the race, you had to defend very hard from Teo. It was a good battle.
Yeah, it was a really chaotic race. It started 6th, got a really good start up to 3rd. Then first part of the race, Teo was really quick, so I had to defend. And then in the end, safety car and everything started to kick off. Freddie crashed in front of me. And then I had a chance on the last lap, but yeah, something happened and I wasn't able to get the run. And Teo got both of us, so no, good job to him.
Yeah, it's very much, you could have finished 1st, 2nd or 3rd on that restart. It was so close.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess, but it's still a podium, so yeah, still happy.
Yeah, really good job. Well done, Enzo. Great job by you. 3rd place, 2nd place, Boya. Mari, I don't know if you could have done any more, really. You gave it everything. You got the lead initially, then you lost the lead, then you had a great restart, got it back. But when you were leading on the final restart, you just gave everybody a massive tow. It was so hard to keep them behind, wasn't it?
Yeah, first of all, congratulations and thanks to the team. I feel they did an amazing job. I also think, give everything this race, Freddie was incredibly fast. I knew he had the new tires, so I tried to push a lot at the beginning, but couldn't stay with him. So at what point I decided to keep some tires for the restart. I overtook him. I had a gap, but then the slipstream is just unbelievable. Anyway, Teo did an amazing job all the week. Congratulations to him, and the team can be really, really proud about all the work they had done.
And you can as well. I know you wanted to win, but you still love this place. It's something special, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I really like this place. In the first time I came here, I enjoyed it a lot, and for sure this time, maybe tomorrow I will be happier than today, but for sure I enjoyed it.
It was a great effort. Well done to you, Boya in 2nd place. Teo, wow, what a move. 3rd to 1st in one go, around the outside. That was 100% determination.
Yeah, for sure, was 100% determination. I was just full throttle, 6 gears, and I was looking to the front. I brake late, and it paid off. Obviously, the whole team deserved that win and the second position. Mary as well. We worked really well together the whole weekend. The car was just flying. The pace was there the whole weekend. So yeah, thanks to everyone.
Yeah, and first win for the team and a 1-2 finish, so a great effort, as you said. You're the first driver from France to win this race for 21 years, so in your lifetime, you're the first French driver to win it. A great day for you.
Yeah, I was not born 20 years ago, so yeah, it's just amazing. At the moment, I cannot really realize, but I think in few minutes should come. So yeah.
You're going to go to sleep tonight. Eventually, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to think about that move over and over again.
Yeah, it was a bit scared to be honest, but it paid off, and yeah, I'm really enjoying the whole weekend. I enjoyed to be here, so yeah.
It was brilliant. Well done. Fantastic move. Your race winner, the FIA FR World Cup winner, the Macau Grand Prix winner, Teo Nile.
A great race for the Macau Grand Prix. Teo Nile it is then who takes the race victory. He wins the 72nd Macau Grand Prix. And we look forward to the next chapter in the story next year, the 73rd running. But for this year, it has been a great Grand Prix. Thanks for your company. From all of us, goodbye.